right, the first question is, what does racism mean to you?
Racism to me means hating on a specific person or group of people based off of their appearance, their looks, or who or where they're from.
To me, racism means treating a specific group of people or community different because of their cultures or because how they live, and also not accepting them into the society because we all come from different cultures and we have different ways of living.
It's just when people are prejudiced and have a certain notion against a group of people that they may not understand.
I guess if you're looking at it from a larger lens, racism is also structurally and systemically the oppression of people that are lower phenotypically.
Racism means the prejudice that someone can face relatively or systemically. You can face it through interactions just in everyday life. You can face it in areas that are institutionalized, like schools, government, things like that.
Racism is everywhere, so it's a discrimination that people do to maybe hurt people or just let out their thoughts that they don't know that they are hurt or bad.
And have you personally experienced or witnessed racism before?
Yeah, a time that I've noticed racism was even in classes. You'll find individuals where instructors would say, all right, everybody get into groups. And you'll definitely notice that some people, even if they don't know each other, they tend to pick whoever they're comfortable with, and whatever they're comfortable with is appearance-based. And you'll notice these niche groups going up together, and I feel that that very much pushes other people away.
Fortunately, I've never experienced racism, but I've seen so many clips on internet where I see racism for specific communities, which really makes me feel sad.
I definitely witnessed racism, and it's troubling to just absorb and see people be treated so horribly just because of their cultural racial background.
Unfortunately, as a Black woman, I have. Right, to live in a system that we live in right now, you sort of see a lot of microaggressions. I feel is normally the more common type of racism that you see amongst people.
Yes, since coming to Canada and back in my own country too, racism is a way more common thing for us South Asians, you know. Everybody is always looking at us a weird way. And then whenever we talk, I mean, you can see that my English is not that good, but I'm trying. But people don't like that, and then they always like, you know, just go back to your country, man. You don't deserve it. So.
I would say, yeah, a lot of it, more so like online, but yeah, like I've witnessed like so many accounts where like somebody will say something that's like microaggressive, and then, you know, like nobody ever really does anything about it. And I feel like that's something that we as a society need to work on to be able to like defend other people when they face those kind of situations.
And how did that make you feel during that time?
It's discouraging, especially like I said in the classroom where we want to know each other, we want to know our cohorts, we're all in the same program, in the same class, yet we feel comfortable choosing a familiar group rather than being able to explore other options and, you know, being more of like that melting pot that, you know, Canada is.
It definitely decreases the quality of life, I would say, and also just makes it less fun or less enjoyable to participate.
When I was a kid, I didn't know what it was per se. I thought it was just regular. I thought it was normal. I thought he just didn't know what he was doing. I thought he was genuinely just trying to copy me and who I was. Then I realized the derogatory actions of it all and what it meant, and the kind of ignorance that it held, also the hate that it held from being othered. And over time, I kind of grew to resent it.
And what advice would you have for others that are going through something like this?
Be kind to everyone, look out for others. If you notice any sorts of racism, any sort of hate, even discrimination, call it out, don't ignore it. See how you can help fix the problem or situation. Sometimes it's beyond your scope of duty, but being able to call it out or notice it is the first step in recognizing how to fix it.
One piece of advice, I would say that even though we all come from different cultures, we all have different ways of living. I would say we should be polite to everyone and try to accept all the communities, because at the end of the day, we all are humans.
I would just say for others to treat others with respect and dignity and honor, and just have concern for their fellow human being.
In ways that I kind of give advice to people who experience the casual racism in their heads, where they think it's normal and they want to fix it, they don't want to be that way anymore. Listen to the people around you. Empathize. Understand that while it's not your shoes to walk in, it's someone else's, whether it's barefoot, high heels, boots in the dirt. Everyone can understand just by listening to everyone else too.
Be strong, be kind. Whenever if you are facing racism, reach out to other people and try to be positive, try to make, get a change, and then tell people that, you can learn new cultures. And if they don't agree, just smile and tell them to have a good day.
I think the biggest thing is that if you're in a place where you feel different to other people and people are downgrading you based off of the way you look, is to find people that look like you and share a similar opinion as you. And then I guess if you feel comfortable to talk to other people about the situation that you're going through, because talking about a situation lessens it in your heart.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we did. Yay!
Whoa.
Thank you so much.